Good afternoon, everybody, and live from Jackson Field on the campus of Wesleyan University. It's the NCAA Division III Men's Lacrosse Quarterfinals. This afternoon, it's the clash of the Titans. The number 3 ranked Bobcats take on the number 4 ranked Wesleyan Cardinals. Hi, everybody. I'm Gene Gums. Glad you could join us for this afternoon's game. The Cardinals come into this one with a team record 19 wins, all 19 of them in a row after losing the first game of the season to this Bates team. So it's revenge and a chance for a trip to the semifinals in the NCAA Division III lacrosse tournament on the line this afternoon. The semifinal game will be played either here or at RIT, depending on what happens this afternoon in the RIT SUNY Cortland matchup. We'll try to bring you updates on that one as we can. Should the Cardinals win and RIT lose, the game would be here. If the Cardinals win and RIT win, the game will be up in Rochester on Sunday afternoon. These two teams feature two of the best offensive players in the country. For the Cardinals, it's Harry Stanton. Stanton, the junior from New Canaan, Connecticut, with a school record 76 goals and 28 points, 28 assists, 104 points this season. And on the Bates side, it's Charlie Fay. Fay, the senior from Falmouth, Maine, 96 points, 72 goals, and 24 assists. So two great offensive players. The big difference in this game today may be in goal. The Cardinals feature one of the best goaltenders in the conference. Matter of fact, one of the best goaltenders in New England and the country in Ted Bergman. Bergman, the senior out of Media, Pennsylvania, was a first-team All-NESCAC selection, and just the other day he was named first-team All-New England. Ted Bergman has been great this year. He is averaging or giving up just 8.59 goals a game. His save percentage is 57.4%. He has been solid. He was unconscious in the game the other day against Tufts, making 6 saves in the first quarter. And really, he probably had 4 or 5 saves in that game that he had no business making. But those aren't the only 3 players on this team. Of course, the Cardinals have Carter Hawthorne, who's got 92 points with 39 goals and a school record 53 assists. He recently broke the single-season assist record. Christian Barker's got 49 points, and Taylor Gesquire, back from a finger injury, with 43 goals and 3 assists this season. For Bates, their other weapons, well, they're pretty good too. Matt Lastava with 52 goals and 29 assists. Kyle Weber's got 55 goals and 18 assists. And Andrew Melvin with 25 goals and 35 assists. This Bates team ranked in the top 5 in the country in offense, averaging almost 16 goals a game. The Cardinals just behind them, averaging just over 15 goals a game. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. Jamie Hom, a member of the Wesleyan softball team, singing our national anthem prior to this quarterfinal game as we just about ready to get underway. The Cardinals, of course, coached by John Raba, the NESCAC and New England Coach of the Year, John Raba, in his 21st season here with the Cardinals. And on the side for Bates, it's Peter Lasagna in his 17th year with the Bates Bobcats. Bates defeated the Cardinals in the first game of the season 15-14. Since then, Wesleyan has run off 19 in a row. Bates was undefeated all the way to the semifinals of the NESCAC tournament. They lost in the semifinals to Middlebury. Prior to that loss, Bates was the #1 ranked team in the nation. Middlebury went on, of course, to face the Cardinals in the NESCAC championship, and the Cardinals won that one 9-8. By virtue of doing that, they got the automatic bid and a chance to host, and the Cardinals have kept winning, and they've kept hosting. These two teams have faced each other several times. 22-15, the all-time record, the Cardinals over the Bobcats. However, Bates has won the last 3 games between these two teams. Face-off's a big part of lacrosse, and the Cardinals have one of the best face-off men in the league, and Zach Zavalik. Zach has won about 60% of his face-offs this year. He was huge in that game against Tufts in the round of 16 victory. Of course, in that round of 16, Harry Stanton with another big game, as we are so used to seeing. Harry had 7 goals against the Jumbos to lead the Cardinals. That was a runaway victory. And in the first round, or the prior round, the Cardinals defeated New England College. The final in that one was 25-6. So the Cardinals have not faced a lot of stiff opposition here in the NCAA tournament so far, but this is going to be a good one. I'd be very surprised if this is more than a 1 or 2 goal game. Pretty good crowd. Temperatures in the mid-80s here in Middletown, Connecticut. Bright sunny skies, and the opening faceoff won by the Bobcats. Sam Francis with the win. He gets it to Lastava. And now the Bobcats will go on offense for the first time this afternoon. Behind the net with it, it's Charlie Fay, their leading scorer. 72 goals for Fay. Tries to carry it into the middle, being bothered there, has to throw it back up to the top of the box to Burke Smith. Now they get it over to Kyle Weber, the senior from Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Now it's Clark Jones with it. Jones gets pushed outside, has to go back behind the net. This is Andrew Melvin now to the near side as they work it up top to Jake Walsh. Now Weber looks to make a move. He has Xander Kotzen right with him. Can't do it. Has to give it up. Turnaround shot goes wide. A rebound shot, and the save is made by the Cardinals. It may not have gotten through to Bergman. I think it might have been blocked by a defender out in front. And Harry Stanton goes after the rebound, has it along the far sideline. So Bates comes up empty on their first trip, and here come the Cardinals on offense. Harry Stanton, just a junior. Matter of fact, this entire Cardinal offense, with 1 or 2 exceptions, all underclassmen, and will be back next year. Here's Christian Barker now as the Cardinals will take their time. Barker, the sophomore from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. He has had a solid season, 25 goals and 24 assists. With it here, tries to spin back to the middle. Now to the near side, this is Taylor Gesquire. Turpin to DuPont, now to Hawthorne. Here Stanton takes the low shot, the rising one goes out. Cardinals win position, now still have possession. And Hawthorne will put it back in play. Stanton took that shot down around from his knees, and the riser went over the crossbar. Here's Hawthorne to Stanton. Right out front, DuPont save made. And the Bobcats have it. I'm not sure if that hit the goaltender or if it hit the post, but either way, Bates dodges a bullet there. And here come the Bobcats. They came up empty the first time. We're scoreless first couple of minutes of play here from Jackson Field in Middletown, Connecticut. Here's Listava around the corner. Back behind the net it goes to Melvin. Back to Listava. Thought about letting it go. Throws it outside to Weber. Here's a shot and a piece gotten there by Bergman. It heads towards the near sideline. Pops up in the air. Still loose. And finally, the Cardinals come away with the ground ball, but we've got a whistle. A push call, though, against the Cardinals. I think they're calling the push on Colin Hitter. So the Bobcats will keep it. That one is deflected outside. It'll be run down before midfield by Kyle Weber. Now out to the far side, it goes to Fay. Here's Listava with it. Takes the low shot, and it hit the post and bounces back out. It'll still belong to the Bobcats. Bergman had the corner cut off. He didn't have an angle. Now Listava tosses it back up top. Walsh thought about letting it go. Hands it off instead to Weber. Now gives it back to him. Long shot. Bergman gets a piece to flex up over the net. It'll still belong to the Bobcats. Kyle Weber let that one go. So Bates with some pretty good early pressure here. Here's Listava with it. Tries to throw it in the middle, and the Cardinals pick it off. Good defensive play there by Chad Malinowski. And the pass up to Morales. He clears midfield and takes it all the way down into the box as the Cardinals set up the offense. DuPont with it along the far side. Gives it back to Hawthorne. Now to Stanton. So good pressure for Bates, but again, nothing to show for it. 4 minutes into the first quarter. We're still scoreless. Talking to a lot of people before the game, they thought this would be a high-scoring game. But we're off to a pretty good defensive start for both teams. Cole Turpin takes a shot, goes down, and the ball loose, and then they're going to get, well, I thought they were going to get Turpin on a push, but instead they say it went out. It'll belong to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals keep it. Turpin puts it back in play, gives it to Christian Barker. Barker around the corner, good defensive help there, pushes him back outside. The pass, not a great one to Hawthorne, but he does a good job catching it on the short hop. Around the corner, out front, Stanton couldn't catch it cleanly, has to go run it down. He was trying to fire that one all in one motion as he caught it. Now Stanton runs to the right side. Fakes a cut to the middle, throws it up top to Gesquire. Here's Turpin. Turpin, the junior from New Canaan, Connecticut. Gesquire takes the shot. It goes wide. It'll still belong to the Cardinals as Harry Stanton was in position. Stanton and Turpin, high school teammates. Here's Stanton trying to go around the corner. Good defense there. Throws it up top to Barker. Ducks under the hit. Gesquire tried to let it go. Didn't have an angle. Now Turpin takes the shot. It bounces in front of the goal and out. So the Cardinals will put it back in play. $9:11 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless. DuPont out front, and it goes wide. Great pass from Hawthorne. DuPont just couldn't deposit it in the net. Golden chance there for the Cardinals. Here's Barker. Gets by his man, turnaround shot, and it's knocked down. Hawthorne tries to get to the rebound, still loose. Stanton picks it up right out in front, tries to put it in, and the save is made. Huge save there by Rob Strain, the freshman goaltender for the Bobcats. And then they throw it away. So a great save, but then an unforced error. So Wesleyan will get it back. Great job by Strain. Stanton, 76 goals. Not a lot of goaltenders have stopped him this year. Here's Barker. Up top to Gesquire. Gesquire trying to use that bulk to get inside. Now Turpin lets it rip and scores! Cole Turpin, the first goal of the game, and the Cardinals lead 1-0 on the 16th goal of the year by Cole Turpin. Good ball movement here by the Cardinals, and it was all set up after a turnover. And Cole Turpin picks up the goal to give the Cardinals the 1-0 lead. You'll see it here, and a great pass across to Turpin, and he doesn't waste a lot of time. I thought he might try to go in a little bit farther, but he took one step, let it rip, and tucked it inside the post for the 1-0 lead. And a violation on the faceoff will give it to the Cardinals. So a 1-0 lead and the ball. Xander Kotzen will carry it in for Wesleyan. 8:17 to go here in the first quarter. Cardinals lead 1-0. It's been a defensive first 7 minutes of this game. Kotzen with it for the Cardinals, the sophomore from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. Carries it all the way back behind the net. Tries to turn the corner, nothing there. Up top it goes to Stanton. Ryan Flippin tosses it back behind the net to Hawthorne. Goes around the corner and takes the shot. It goes wide, but the Cardinals will keep it. Tough angle there, couldn't get it in on goal. Now Kotzen takes the play. Drives into the middle. Gives it off to Flippin. Now Kotzen gets it back, tries to spin away from the defender, takes the shot, and it bounces right into the stick of Stanton. He takes the shot, that goes wide. And I say he took the shot, but that may well have been an intended pass. It bounced right into the stick of Stanton, so I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say he intended to fire it to Stanton there on the bounce. Here's Kotzen with it again as he puts it back in play, gives to Stanton. Up top to Flippin, he starts to drive. Good defense there, sends it back behind the net. Hawthorne spins, gets cut off by a double team. Now out in front, it's Stanton. He has to take it behind the net. Here's Kotzen's got some space, but good recovery by the defender, and he fires it high over the crossbar. It was a good move there by Burke Smith, the junior from Wilton, Connecticut, for Bates to recover and not give Kotzen shooting room. Now right off the play inbound, Stanton takes it in front of the net, tries to get the shot off, and he loses it out of the stick. It's still loose on the ground. And it's going to belong to the Bobcats. So here they come on the transition. This is Danique Brown-Jones with it. Carries it all the way back behind the net. And now it's Lastava. He'll wait for the rest of his teammates to get there and throw it back behind the net to Charlie Fay. Here's Napton. He gives it back to Lastava. Now behind the goal to Melvin. Melvin gets some space, takes the shot. It bounces and then is deflected out by Bergman towards the far sideline. It goes out of bounds. It'll still belong to the Bobcats. They put it back in play. Now Lastava has it. Near side it goes to Andrew Small. Small gets it back. Tries to work his way in. And then gets it to Lastava on the bounce. Good play there by Lastava. Small once again being bothered by Morales. Nothing there. He'll toss it all the way back up top to Shrewsbury. Now Shrewsbury gets it back. This is Small. Wanted to wind up. Now gets by Morales. Takes the shot, and the save is made by Bergman. The outlet pass to Thomas Clegion, and the Cardinals now will go on offense once again with a 1-0 lead as we get deep into the first quarter. 5:04 to play in the first. Still 1-0. Here's Barker for Wesleyan. Cardinals 19 straight wins. It has been a season for the ages as the Cardinals have just shattered all kinds of team and individual records this year. Here's Barker. Tries to go around the corner and throw it out front. And it's loose. And coming away with it for Bates is Fred Ulbrich. They nearly lose it. A good play there by R.J. Sarka to hang on to it. They throw it out front. The turnaround shot goes wide by Lastava right out front. The Bobcats will still have it, however. This is Melvin. The shot, that one goes high by Weber. So the Bobcats are throwing a lot of shots out there, but not a lot of them have gone on goal. Fay is going to put it back in play. He'll toss it up top to Weber. Fay thought about letting one rip low, still has it, backs out. Good defense there by Morales for the Cardinals. Nothing there for Walsh. He has to back it out. Now Lastava has it. Melvin throws it away. Goes all the way into the back, and it'll belong to the Cardinals at midfield. So Bates turns it over. The Cardinals are able to keep them off the board yet again. .332 left here in the first quarter. Still 1-0 Wesleyan. So those of us that thought this was going to be a high-scoring game have been proven wrong, at least for the first 12 minutes. Here's Turpin to Gesquire. Nothing there for him. He's got to back it out. Uyeki will give it to Christian Barker. Barker tries to throw it behind the net, and it's not a good pass. It goes out. It'll belong to the Cardinals still. They catch a break there. Barker will put it back in play. He gives it to Turpin. Turpin spins near side. Here's Stanton, the bounce pass, or the bounce shot, I should say. And the goaltender gets a piece. It goes out, but it'll still belong to Wesleyan, and Barker will put it back in play. Stanton bidding for his first one of the day. 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Here's Gesquire. All 6'5", 230 pounds of him. Behind the net to Carter Hawthorne. Spins back to the near side, nothing there. Looking for a cutter in the middle, finds Stanton on the near side. Stanton's shot goes high. Still Cardinal ball. Gesquire will toss it up to Turpin at the top of the box. Spins back to the middle, good help defense there. He gives it to Gesquire. Tries to take the shot, loses the ball. It's loose, and it goes all the way back to the goaltender Strain. He'll pick it up, and the Bobcats looking for the quick transition. Here they come. This is Brown Jones again, right at, and the save is made by Bergman. Rebound picked up by Fay, however. A turnaround shot. Bergman with another save. And the Cardinals have the rebound this time. And then Lastava tries to take it away from Bergman, but the Cardinals are there to help him out. Malarchuk has it, now to Klajan. Nearly a disaster there, but a couple of big saves by Ted Bergman. Here's Corey Ekstrom. And we've got a timeout called by the Cardinals. 1:22 to play here in the first quarter. It's 1-0 Wesleyan. We're back in a minute on NSN. Welcome back to Jackson Field with 1:19 to play here in the first quarter. Cardinals have the ball and a 1-0 lead. Take a look at some of the stats. The Cardinals out shooting Bates 14-12. However, the big story is the shots on goal. 7-3 in favor of Bates. Ted Bergman has made 7 saves here in the first quarter, very reminiscent of the game he had against Tufts when he had 6 saves in the first quarter. Ground balls, 8 for Bates, 6 for the Cardinals. Each team perfect on clears. 3 turnovers for each team. There have been no penalties so far. So here we go. Final minute of play in the first quarter. Cardinals would like to keep the possession here, get a late goal, and keep the Bobcats off the board in the first quarter. That in itself, for a team averaging nearly 16 goals a game, is a heck of an accomplishment. Here's Hawthorne with it. Near side to Stanton. Up top to Kotzen. Now Hawthorne gives it back quickly to the far side to DuPont. Cardinals just being patient around the perimeter with it. They throw it out to Kotzen. DuPont on the far side, steps in, gives to Hawthorne. Hawthorne gets it back again. Has Stanton on the near side and gives it to him. Flipping to Kotzen. Now DuPont again. Stanton gets some space, takes the shot, and scores! Harry Stanton is first of the game, and the Cardinals now have the 2-0 lead. Harry Stanton, his 77th goal of the season, and that was a prototypical Harry Stanton shot. You see the Cardinals just being patient around the perimeter. Hawthorne finds him. He gets some shooting space and does what he loves to do. He bounces it right in front of the goaltender, and it bounces into the goal. With 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Cardinals have taken the 2-0 lead. I did not hear the PA announcer, John Tewitt. I don't know if they gave an assist to Hawthorne or not. Turnover here, Ben Shively quickly for the Cardinals, up the field to Hawthorne in the final seconds here to see if they can get a shot off. They're going to take the shot, and Strain gets a piece. It goes out. It'll still belong to the Cardinals. 1 second, I think, to go. They throw it in, and it's picked off, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. So a great defensive quarter for the Cardinals and goaltender Ted Bergman. At the end of 15 minutes of play, it's Wesleyan 2, Bates nothing. Back with the second quarter in just a bit. You're watching NSN. Welcome back to Jackson Field. 15 minutes in the books, and the Cardinals have held this high-powered Bates team off the scoreboard. Cardinals leading 2-0. Zach Zavalek out there for the face-off to start the second quarter. Shots in the first quarter on goal, 7-4 in favor of Bates. 16-12 for the Cardinals overall, but only 4 shots on goal, but 2 of them went in. 7 saves for Ted Bergman in the first quarter. 2 saves for Strain, the goaltender for Bates. 4 turnovers for the Cardinals, 3 for the Bobcats. So the face-off here to start the quarter. And Zavalek thought he had it, ran away with it, lost it. Now shovels it forward, and the Bobcats come up with it. Lastava came away with the ball. And now he'll shovel it back behind the net to Andrew Melvin. Here's Fay, 6'4", 215 pounds. 72 goals coming into this game in 17 games. Here's Clark Jones. Gives it back to Walsh. Now this is Haas. Check that, Kyle Weber. As they work it around the perimeter. Weber has it. Flag flies. Penalty coming against the Cardinals. Jake Walsh still with it. Throws it, and it bounces and will go out of bounds, but it'll still belong to the Bobcats as we've got a penalty coming against Wesleyan. And I'm guessing it's going to be on Ben Shively because he's trying to plead his case on the way out. So we'll see what the call is going to be. It's against Shively for interference, so that's going to be a 30-second penalty, so a brief man-up opportunity for Bates, but they are very good man-up. 7th in the country in man-up opportunities, 46.5%. So our first penalty of the game goes against the Cardinals. Here's a shot, and Bergman gets the save. And the loose ball picked up by Bergman. Now he's going to fire it up the field, and a good pass to Klajan. And he's going to let it rip, and Strain makes the save on the other end for Bates, and now here come the Bobcats the other way. As Fay takes the outlet pass, Klajan right with him, and Klajan goes down, Fay goes past him. The penalty to Shively has expired, so they do not score a man up. Here's Fay, top of the box. Lastava now sends it behind the box to turnaround shot, and I think Bergman got a piece of that on the wraparound try by Melvin. Lastava will put it back in play. This is Melvin. Up top it goes to Fay. Now Weber on the far side. Morales pushes him out. Lastava throws it away. He was trying to flip it to Andrew Melvin, and it wasn't a good pass. It's the second time he's done that. A little bit too casual, and the Cardinals get it on the turnover. They play it back to Bergman. Now the long pass up the field, and now the Cardinals throw it away. Colin Malarchuk with the bad pass there. So here come the Bobcats after the turnover, the fourth. Check that, the fifth turnover for the Cardinals here in the first half. And Jones throws it back behind the net to Andrew Melvin. Right out in front, shot, save, Bergman again. Clark Jones tried to surprise him with a little backhand shot, and Ted Bergman said, I don't think so. Bergman having a heck of a first half here for Wesleyan. 12:07 to go in the second quarter. Still 2-0 Cardinals. 8 saves now for Ted Bergman in the first half. Cole Turpin with it. Beats his man, but can't get the shot off. Flips it back out to Carter Hawthorne. And he plays it back to Stanton. Now Hawthorne has it again. Shuffles to his left. Cuts back right, nothing there. Now Stanton will take it. Swing to the right side, give back to Hawthorne. Stanton takes it back again. Now the far side they go to Cole Turpin. He'll back it out. Look to make a run. Out front to Christian Barker. Barker carries it behind the cage. And they start the shot clock now. Gesquire scores! Taylor Gesquire takes the pass from Christian Barker and makes it 3-0 Wesleyan. You know, I was just about to say that Taylor Gesquire had been a little quiet in the first half, and he's a big target, and Christian Barker, you'll see him here, and he finds him. And it's a big target, 6'5", and from a long distance, he uses that leverage to get a lot on the shot, and he beats Strain cleanly for the 3-0 lead. 10:54 to play in the first half. The Cardinals lead 3-0. Gesquire's 44th goal of the season. Barker picks up assist number 25. That ball is kicked out and picked up by the Bobcats. They play it back to Strain, the goaltender. So this Bates team not used to being held off the scoreboard. The Cardinals defense really taking it to them so far, and mainly that's been in the person of Ted Bergman. But here come the Cardinals. Check that, the Bobcats, it's Walsh. Jake Walsh, the senior from Baltimore, Maryland. A hotbed for lacrosse play. Plays it to the far side, now gets it back and plays it up top to Weber. Here's Fay behind the cage. Cardinals marking him very closely every time he gets the ball. Back out to Weber. Fay hasn't been able to get any shooting space as of yet. Turnaround shot blocked by the stick out front. I believe that was Colin Malarchuk that got the stick up to knock that one down. The loose ball picked up by Bergman. He'll make the pass up to Morales. And the Cardinals make the Bobcats come up empty once again. What a first half for this Cardinal defense. Still a lot of time, but the Cardinals really showing that they can play defense as well as score a lot of goals. They've scored a lot of goals in the last 2 games here in the NCAA tournament, but they have really put the clamps down on the Bobcats this afternoon. Hawthorne shovels it out front to Stanton, nothing there. Here's Flippin with it, and he flips it high into the screen. Still Cardinal possession. Hawthorne will put it back in play. He'll play it to Xander Kotzen on the near side. .8:35 to play here in the second quarter. 3-0 Wesleyan. But we all know in lacrosse that can change in the blink of an eye. Hawthorne out front to Kotzen. Now Flippin. Tries to work his way inside. Throws it back out. Kotzen takes a shot. Throws it up top. Now has to run down the loose ball. Takes another shot. Goes to the turf. And the Bobcats come away with it and then lose it, and Harry Stanton is there. So Stanton in the right place at the right time, comes up with the ground ball, and then he takes a shot and goes down. Shovels it out to Flippin. We're going to have a penalty coming against Bates. I think that's going to be on the hit to Stanton. So the Cardinals still with possession, a chance to score here, and if they don't, they'll go man up. Here's Hawthorne. Out front to Flippin, lets it rip, bounces it wide, and now we'll have the penalty coming against Bates. It's going to be a slashing call against the Bobcats. Against number 4, I believe, Regan Haas. Oh, they called it on Fred Ulbrich, number 1. So a 1-minute penalty for a slash with 7.5 minutes to go in the first, and the Cardinals with a chance to open it up a little more. Here's Stanton. Right out in front, and the easy one-timer goal by Tom DuPont. What a pass. And he just one-timed it. He didn't even catch that. He just swatted it into the net. And it is 4-0 as the Cardinals score man up. Watch this play. This is a thing of absolute beauty. He doesn't even catch the pass. It comes from the far side. He's all alone on the far side of the post and just swats it into the goal. 7:14 to play in the first half, and the Cardinals now lead 4-0. This Bates team must not know what hit him, and we've got a penalty on the face-off. And there's something you don't see every day, and that's going to go against the Bobcats, I do believe. As the referee is explaining himself to Sam Francis. It's a 30-second penalty against the Bobcats. So the Cardinals, who just scored man up, are going to be man up again for the next 30 seconds. What a first half this has been for the Cardinals. Wesleyan is 5th in Division III in man up offense, 48.5% coming in. They're 1 for 1 today. Trying to get another one here as Barker gives the near side to DuPont. 4 different players have scored for Wesleyan here in the first half. Stanton takes it. Right out front, Barker, turnaround shot. Strain made the save, and then Hawthorne caught the rebound. A shot by Stanton. Strain gets a piece of that and sends it out. So the Cardinals still have possession. Penalty almost over. Stanton with it. Now to Turpin. The penalty has expired, so they do not score, but they still have possession of the ball with under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Stanton gets out front, takes a shot, goes down, loses the ball, but it's picked up behind the net by Carter Hawthorne. Did a good job of worming his way in there, but then lost the ball. Here's Turpin. Takes it behind the cage now. To the far side to Stanton. He's going to flip it to Christian Barker. Now Barker around the left side. Didn't have an angle, so he'll just replace with Carter Hawthorne. Now Barker reverses field, looking for somebody out front. Finds it. Turpin lets it rip. It goes wide. Strain may have gotten a piece of that. And the Cardinals will reset. Right out front, shoveled in. Harry Stanton. It's 5-0. Holy smokes. And Stanton does what Stanton likes to do. He takes it low. And it was a great pass. Stanton, you see him there up at the top, and he's just going to cut into the middle. And it's a beautiful pass, and then just one step, fires it low and scores. Barker with another great pass. 5:41 to go in the first half, and it is all Cardinals. Stanton's second of the game, 78th of the season. And the faceoff still being battled for. The Cardinals come away with it. Ben Shively has it. He'll circle back around, look for some help. He'll get it in the person of Ted Bergman. And now Bergman out to the far side to Malarchuk, who plays it back to his goalie. So the Cardinals get it over midfield. Corey Ekstrom will carry it into the box. Hands it off to DuPont, now back to Stanton. I don't think anybody saw this happening. I didn't think there would be any separation by maybe more than 2 or 3 goals. But the Cardinals with a 5-goal lead. Stanton almost got out in front again and flips it up in the air as he takes a shot. It goes out of bounds. They lose it, and it'll be a turnover that'll give it back to Bates. Bobcats need a goal in the worst way here in the first half as the Cardinals continue to keep the pressure on. 4:45 left in the half. And here come the Bobcats. This is Brown Jones. He takes the shot. Goes out. And the Cardinals are in position, so they will get it. Good job by Klajan to be in the right place to make sure he was closest to the ball. And the Cardinals get it, and it's played back in by Malinowski. Klajan will play it back to his goaltender. Bergman has been known to come way down the field. And he's up near midfield, now carries it over midfield. In no man's land here, flips it onto the ground. And Ekstrom can't keep it in, so mistake there by Bergman. He wanted to just roll it to Ekstrom, and he rolled it behind him, so the Bobcats will get it back on the turnover. It's one of the only mistakes that Bergman has made this afternoon so far. Bobcats with it, right out in front, shot goes wide. 4 minutes to play, and Matt Kelleher was right out front and just missed it. So here's Melvin. They throw it out front as Weber to the far side to Kelleher. There's a bad pass there. Jake Walsh couldn't get to it. Goes up over midfield. And it'll belong to the Cardinals. Colin Hitter will put it back in play for Wesleyan. Not a great pass, but picked up over there by Xander Kotzen throws it back into Corey Ekstrom, so the Cardinals get it after the turnover. And the Bobcats still looking for that elusive first goal with 3:20 to play in the first half. Here's Ekstrom. Can't get any space, and we've got a timeout called by the Cardinals. We're approaching 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. All Wesleyan 5-0. We're back in a minute on NSN. I'm going to go out on a limb as we come back to Jackson Field and say that Bates has not been shut out in a half all season. Now, I could be wrong, but they're 16-1 in the top 5 in the country in scoring, so I'm going to bet that hasn't happened all year. But with 3:12 to go here in the first half, Bates is still scoreless. Cardinals lead 5-0, and Wesleyan has possession of the ball after the timeout by John Raba. This has been a surgical first half by the Cardinals. Great defense, and they've really picked their spots on the offensive end. Here's Turpin. Spins away from the defender, gives it to Stanton. Now he'll give it right back to Cole Turpin. Turpin wanted to turn, now gets by his man, takes the shot. It goes high as he spun away from Regan Haas, who had stayed with him the entire time. But the shot went high, so the Cardinals have it. DuPont throws it back to Hawthorne. Here's Gesquire. Gives it to DuPont. Right out front, Gesquire thought he was going to take the shot, but throws it to Hawthorne instead. Now back behind the cage to Stanton. Stanton's already got 2. Now Barker, who has a couple of assists already. Falls down as he tried to make the cut. Ball loose, kicked out towards midfield. The Cardinals shovel it back in, and they're going to say that he was offside. That was a nice play, but the referee said that Clayton was offside, so that'll give it to the Bobcats. And then a big hit there by Stanton, and it's lost out of bounds, so Harry Stanton shows that he can play defense too. Quick transition after the turnover, and they'll give it back to Stanton. He'll settle it down, throw it back behind the net to Carter Hawthorne. Again, the Cardinals just picking their spots. There's a spot there where, in a bit of a transition, they could have just gone in, tried to take the shot, but Harry Stanton wisely pulls it out and allows the Cardinals to set up the offense. Here's Corey Ekstrom, the senior. Out to Gesquire. He doesn't have an angle, so he'll give it back to Ekstrom. Here's Kotzen. He doesn't have an angle, has to throw it to Ekstrom. Now Hawthorne gets out front, shovels it in, takes a shot. The flag goes up, but it's going to be a Cardinal goal. I don't know, the referees are talking about it. Yes, it is a goal. It is 6-0. The flag went up, but Carter Hawthorne, a great individual effort here as he just goes around the goal as they're going to wave off the penalty. But look at that effort right out in front, takes a shot from behind, goes down and shovels it in as he's falling down. What an unbelievable first half by the Wesleyan Cardinals. 1:15 left in the first half, and the Cardinals lead 6-0. I've been watching Wesleyan lacrosse for 4 or 5 years now, and this is the best half I have ever seen this team play. They may not have put up a lot of goals, all things considered. They've scored a lot more goals, but defensively this has been unbelievable. They nearly throw that away. Strain there to bail them out. The Bobcats, in the final minute of play, need a goal desperately. And they carry it behind the net. This is Melvin. And the Bobcats want to take a timeout. Peter Lasagna says we cannot afford to squander this opportunity. Less than a minute to go here in the first half. Timeout on the field. Cardinals by 6. You're watching NSN. Ball out of the timeout, 54 seconds to play in the first half. The Bobcats still in search of their first goal of the game. Peter Lasagna wisely called the timeout here to try to set it up and figure out something to give their team a little bit of momentum going into the half, because right now they've got to be scratching their heads. Fay puts it in play, throws it back to Melvin. Now they work it out to the far side to Walsh. Now up top to Jones. He gives it back to Walsh. The shot, and it hits the side of the net. I think Bergman got a piece first. Fay picks up the rebound, though. Bergman gets back into the net. Cardinals still. Malarchuk, great defense there. Shot, and it's blocked out front. Fay couldn't get it through to the goaltender. It's still loose on the ground. Whistle blows, we've got a flag, and then another flag as things are getting a little ugly. As the Bobcats, there's a sense of desperation here, no question about that. And I think that penalty's coming against the Cardinals. Eric Morales just walked right off and went to the penalty box. So I think it's going to be against him. There's 12 seconds left here in the first half. They're going to go man up. The referees are still talking. I guess the question here is whether it's just going to be the one penalty or is it going to be matching. Flags were flying everywhere. But it may be just the penalty against Morales. So it is against Morales. So Bates for the next 12 seconds will be man up. And then if they don't score in these 12 seconds, they'll start the second half man up. Unnecessary roughness is the call against Morales. Morales, without a doubt, is one of their hard-nosed defensive players. He is not afraid to mix it up. So the Bobcats, looks like they're just going to run it out here and go into the half and try to set something up at the start of the second half, because being man up, they will have possession to start the second half. There'll be no face-off. So we have played 30 minutes, and the Bates Bobcats have not scored. The number 3 ranked team in the country and the top 5 offense in the country is down 6-0. We're back with the second half in just a bit. You're watching NSN. Jackson Field, Gene Gums with you. Cardinals lead 6-0, and Mike O'Brien, the sports information director here at Wesleyan, did a little research for me at halftime, and this is indeed the first time all season that Bates has been shut out in a half. So that's a heck of an accomplishment as you take a team that's scoring almost 16 goals a game and blank them for 30 minutes, and that's why the Cardinals are in the driver's seat 6-0. And the winner of this one plays the winner of the RIT Cortland game. If RIT wins that one, the game will be in Rochester, and it's looking very possible right now that's going to be the case, as RIT at the end of one quarter is leading SUNY Cortland 4-0. So if these two scores hold, then the semifinal game would be at Rochester on Sunday. If RIT does happen to lose and the Cardinals win, the game would be here on Sunday. But 30 minutes to play, and Bates starting the second half, man up for 48 seconds, looking to come up with their first goal. Here's Fay. Back behind the net, it goes to Walsh. Now back in the middle. Fay doesn't catch it cleanly, and the Cardinals come away with it as a mistake there, as they had Fay out front, couldn't catch it, and Malarchuk comes up with the loose ball, and the Cardinals get the clear. Colin Hitter carries it all the way down, and the Cardinals are going to kill off the rest of that penalty. So with a 6-0 lead, the Bobcats can't take advantage. And Christian Barker has it now. Barker 3 assists in the first half, couple of goals for Harry Stanton. The usual suspects. Taylor Gesquire picked up a goal. Carter Hawthorne as well. Carter Hawthorne's goal, by the way, was his 40th of the season. Harry Stanton now with 106 points this year, 78 goals and 28 assists. Here's Turpin. Flips it and throws it away. He wanted to get it to Christian Barker, and Barker kind of short-armed that a little bit. Missed it, it goes out, and it'll belong to the Bobcats. Big first half for Ted Bergman as well for the Cardinals. It has been a heck of a game for the Cardinals to this point. As Bates takes it into the offensive end. Nearly threw it away there. There's a shot that goes wide. Jake Walsh wound that one up. Ted Bergman with 9 saves for the Cardinals in the first half. 5 saves for Bates goaltender Rob Strain. Here's a chance right out front, and they score. You knew it was going to happen eventually. And Lastava right on the doorstep took the pass, and the Bobcats have finally dented the Cardinal goal. 6-1 now, Bates. So Lastava and Clark Jones picks up the assist on the play for Lastava. That is his 53rd goal of the season. And then they win the faceoff, so now they're back within 5 and the ball. And again, a dangerous offensive team. If you're the Cardinals, can't let them get on a run. Here's a shot that goes high by Kyle Weber. But Fay in position there. He'll put it back in play. (6-1). So the Cardinals held the Bobcats scoreless for nearly 32 minutes. Here's Lastava. They throw it up top. Back to Lastava, now tries to get to the middle. Good defense there as Walsh tried to get into the corner of the goal. Here's Melvin, throws it out front to Lastava. He'll back it out. He was looking for a cutter in the middle, but there was no one home. Long shot and a score from just inside the top of the box by Kyle Weber. And if you're John Raba and the Cardinals, you're going, uh-oh. Look at this rocket. He took the pass up top, and about a foot inside the line, he beat Ted Bergman cleanly. And Lastava gets the assist, so Lastava gets the first goal for Bates, now assists on the second. And the Cardinals need a face-off win here. They got to stop the bleeding. As they continue to battle for it. And it's still loose. And the Cardinals are finally going to get it. I think, yes, Harry Stanton finally able to scoop it up. So the Cardinals back on offense. They need to answer 2 straight here for the Bobcats to start the third quarter. And it's 6-2. That puts a whole different complexion on things. Gesquire gives it back to Turpin. Now Barker. Cardinals will just look to bring a little sanity back to this one now. Try to take some of the wind out of the Bobcats' sails. Here's Barker. Quickly just to Turpin. He thought about letting it rip. But he had a couple of defenders in front of him, so he throws it back up top to Barker instead. Barker gets bodied outside, gives it to Stanton, cuts back into the middle, takes a shot, scores. All Harry Stanton. 5'7", and he snuck in between the defenders. And the Cardinals make it 7-2. Danique Brown-Jones was there, but he couldn't get over in time to cut Harry Stanton off. And watch, he just puts the jets on, goes between Jones and another defender, and tucks it inside the near post. And it's 7-2 Wesleyan. That is just what the doctor ordered. If you're a Cardinal fan. 10:55 to play in the third quarter, and the Cardinals are back up by 5. Huge crowd here this afternoon. Biggest crowd I've seen for a lacrosse game at Wesleyan in many, many years. Of course, 85-degree weather doesn't hurt. Face-off won by the Bobcats. And they'll bring it up over midfield. This is Burke Smith. Dumps it off to Fay. Fay has still been kept off the scoreboard, which, if you're a Cardinal fan, should make you nervous. Takes the shot there, and Bergman with the clean save, his 10th. And look at this long pass down the field. He did this the other day. Xander Kotzen catches it, gives it to Hitter in the middle. Back to Kotzen. Or check that. That was Dupont. I thought it was Kotzen. Now a flag flies from behind the play. And this is going to be on the Bobcats, so the Cardinals will have an opportunity to go man up here. I didn't see what happened. It was right in front of the scorer's table here, so I have an obstructed view. So we'll have to wait until the referee gives us the call. But the Cardinals now with a chance, if they score here, Hawthorne gets bodied out. If they don't score, they'll go man up. Barker gives back to Turpin. Cardinals led by 6, 2 in a row for the Bobcats. Now the Cardinals have pushed it back to 5. Here's Stanton around the corner, has it checked out of his stick. Ball loose, touched up, and now we'll have the penalty call. Stanton tried to worm his way in there and took a shot. So the Cardinals have scored man up once today. They'll try to do it again here. It's going to be a 30-second penalty. So with 9:24 to play, it was offsides against Listava. So the Cardinals man up for 30 seconds. Would love to get a second man up goal here. Stanton. Hawthorne out front, Gesquire to the far side. Turpin lets it rip, it goes wide. Put back in play to Hawthorne, right out front, and Barker has that one deflected high. So they'll re-rack it, and Dupont will put it in play, back to Hawthorne. Penalty has expired. So the Cardinals don't score man up, but they still have possession. Now Barker at the top of the box. Can't beat the defender, so he'll give it to Stanton. Quickly the other side to Hawthorne. Now he'll replace Harry Stanton behind the cage. Hawthorne spins back towards the box. Here's Stanton. He goes down trying to make the cut. They try to double him. He throws it up top to Gesquire. Taylor Gesquire takes the shot, bounces it in there. It goes past the goal, and the Cardinals will retain possession. Cole Turpin with it now. Gets some space, takes the shot. It goes wide. He beat his man, but couldn't get it on goal. 8:45 left here in the third quarter. 7-2 Cardinals. We can't see the scoreboard from where we are, so I have to follow the live stats, so I'm not going to able to give you the score as often, or the time as often as I'd like. Turnaround shot, and Christian Barker has his first goal of the afternoon to go along with those 3 assists. And he just took that one to the far side of the goal and spun. Watch this. This is not an easy shot because you're really not sure exactly where the goal is as he spins and just fires it in and tucks it in the far post. Christian Barker having himself a heck of a game. 7:49 to play, and Christian Barker now has a goal to go along with those 3 assists. And the Cardinals win the faceoff. Here's Zavalik, carries it all the way into the offensive end, takes a couple of shots. Now throws it over to Ben Shively. Shively lets it rip, and he scores! Ben Shively, as he has done so many times this season, the long stick picks up his 7th goal of the year. And after Zavalek won the faceoff, it almost looked like the Cardinals were going to lose that ball. And Zavalek did a good job of taking the hit, recovering, and then finding a wide open Ben Shively, who lets that one rip with the long stick. And the Cardinals now lead 8-2. Zavalek picks up the assist. It's 9-2 Cardinals now with 7:36 to play in the third quarter. It's the largest lead for the Cardinals. So to say they weathered the storm after those two Bates goals would be an understatement. They've actually increased their lead, and the Cardinals come away with it. They fire it up the field. And the long stick's doing the job here. It's a nice pass there by Klajan to Kotzen, and then Uyeki tries to take the shot. It goes wide, and it'll belong to Bates. What an effort by the Cardinals. You really had the sense when Bates scored those two goals that they were ready to make a run, but the Cardinals have responded. And Strain being bothered back there by Stanton finally throws it up, and it's a good one. That's a nice pass, firing it all the way down, right out in front, turnaround shot, score. Holy cow. How about that, Andrew Melvin? But the best pass was the one by Strain to Donique Brown-Jones, who found Melvin in front. Watch this. That's a long pass, and then Jones carries it down, and right out in front for the easy goal was Andrew Melvin. Donique Brown-Jones showed his speed there, and then a good pass for the goal. So the Bobcats answer, and it's 9-3. RIT, by the way, leading now 7-1 in their game with 3:58 to go before halftime. So RIT in control and the Cardinals in control. And Zavalek wins another faceoff, takes it into the offensive end, has it checked out of his stick. Cardinals battling for it, and Colin Hitter will come away with it. Ray Bradshaw Mack almost had it a couple of times, but then had his entire stick checked out of his hand. So the Cardinals win the faceoff, now can set up the offense and try to answer that Bates goal. 9-3 Cardinals. And I think that Stanton may have stepped out of bounds on the far side. So an unforced turnover will give it back to Bates. So here come the Bobcats. This is Kyle Weber. Weber takes it all the way in, then takes a shot from Morales, carries it behind the net. The pass right out front, score, and Fay finally got one. He took the pass from Lastava. And now the Bobcats have scored two in a row once again. Well, you knew you weren't going to hold Fay down all game. And a nice pass from Lastava here. And Fay really in one motion catches, goes low, and fired it from his ankles. I think Bergman was expecting him to go high. He went low, and he beats him. For Fay, that is his 73rd goal of the season. And I think we have a penalty as well. Colin Uyeki has gone to the penalty box. I think he's been called for a slash. It must have been after the goal. So Bates now has scored two in a row, and they're going to be man up. Cardinals really need to win this faceoff here, as Uyeki is in the sin bin for a minute. Flipped out, and the Bobcats have it. Here's Clark Jones. And again, it's Fay, and he scores. Man-up goal. 3 in a row now for the Bobcats, and they are back in this, and you wonder if John Reba might want to call a timeout to stop the momentum. Heck of a job here, and again, it's Fay. You know, he's been there all season, and he's wide open. Nobody marked him. And he had plenty of shooting space, and this time he went high and tucked it up underneath the crossbar. So the penalty to Uyeki gives Bates a man-up opportunity, and they take advantage of it. And the faceoff is going to be won by the Cardinals. They play it back to Klajan. He makes a pass to the far side, and it's not a good one. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to give it back to the Bobcats again. So this poised Cardinal team all of a sudden showing some nerves, perhaps. Weber throws it back behind the cage to Melvin. Now to the near side, it goes to Lastava, back up top. Lastava catches it on the near side. Weber thought about it. Gives to Lastava. That pass is deflected but picked up behind the net by Melvin. Lastava has that one deflected out. And the referees are going to talk about who was in position here. And it's still going to belong to Bates. 9-5. A 4-goal game. It was 6-0 Cardinals at the intermission. Here's Lastava. Doesn't catch it cleanly, but picks up the loose ball. That pass there picked off by Shively, so he's in the right place for the Cardinals. So Bates turns it over. Now Shively loses it. It goes out, and it'll belong to Bates. So Shively made a good defensive play, but then couldn't hang on to it. 4:20 to play. Right out front, and a save by Bergman, but then it squirts in. He got a piece, but then it went in the goal. And again, the Bobcats right on the doorstep. No defender there, and there wasn't really much Bergman can do. I'm surprised he was able even to get a stick on it. Look, right out in front, nobody there, just him and the goaltender, and he catches it, but then the rebound trickles into the goal. So Fay, who had been shut out for a long time, all of a sudden has picked up a hat trick. And John Reba does take a timeout. 9-6 Wesleyan. We've got ourselves a brand new ball game. We're back in a minute. You're watching NSN. We have 3:56 to play in the third quarter, and a 7-goal Cardinal lead has been dwindled to 3. 9-6 now, and a huge face-off coming here. John Reba hopefully has taken some time to calm the troops down a little bit, and his solid Cardinal defense has all of a sudden let an awful lot of open shots go here in the second half. And the face-off is going to belong to Bates. So here come the Bobcats looking to cut it to 2 right out front, and another goal, and nobody stopped Andrew Melvin. He went all the way in on Ted Bergman, and nobody checked him. So now it's 2. But watch this, he catches it here at the top of the box, goes right by Morales, nobody else picks him up, and he just has an easy shot. Now it's 2. And this Bates team didn't get to be 16-1 by accident. You knew they still had plenty in them. Cardinals really need a face-off win here. And they're going to get it. Now they got to hold on to it. And Zavalek takes a couple of shots. A flag flies. He still has it. Getting mugged, needs some help. Tosses it up into the middle. It's going to be picked off, but on the touch-up we'll have the penalty. So Zavalek won the face-off, but then didn't get any help. He was getting mugged. But we'll have a penalty coming here against the Bobcats. 30-second penalty for a hold. And the Cardinals will be man up for those 30 seconds. Wesleyan needs one badly here. They had widened the gap out to 7 at 9-2. But 5 straight goals here by the Bates Bobcats, and with 3:20 to play in the third quarter, it's a 2-goal game. Hawthorne to the far side to DuPont. Back up top, Turpin, now Gesquire. Stanton, shot, score! And again, Harry Stanton with the worm burner. And the Cardinals, boy, they don't come any bigger than that. And who are you going to get it from? Just the man you would expect, Harry Stanton. And innocent-looking pass from Gesquire here to Stanton, and he just let it rip. And it went worm high and into the goal. So Harry Stanton with a huge goal. Gesquire, just his 4th assist of the season, but it's a big one. 3:01 to play in the third quarter. The Cardinals back up by 3. Stanton now with 4 goals this afternoon, and the Cardinals win the faceoff. Stanton has it. Heading down behind the net. He'll hand it off to Ryan Flippin. Nice play there on the faceoff by Jason Gibson. And the Cardinals back on 0, up 3. And another one here wouldn't make the Cardinals feel too bad. Here's Cole Turpin around the right side. Good defense, forced back out now. Toss it over to Christian Barker. Barker will toss it to Carter Hawthorne behind the net. Now he'll give it right back to Barker. Cardinals working some clock, along with trying to get the lead back up to 4. Here's Turpin. Stanton nearly loses it there as on the exchange. Turpin pulled it back. Now Stanton has it. Puts the brakes on. Right out front, shot and score. Great job there, and another country herd front, Tom Martello. First time I've called his name today, the freshman from Rockville Center, New York. Puts the Cardinals back up by 4 as he takes the pass. Look at Stanton right here. He sees Martello coming on the far side of the goal, and Martello just deposits it in the back of the net. So Stanton picks up his first assist of the game to go along with those 4 goals, and Tom Martello scores his 7th of the season. And the Cardinals lead 11-7, and I think everybody on that Cardinal bench is breathing again. 1:36 to go in the third quarter. Obviously not over, but 4 sounds a whole heck of a lot better than 2 if you're a Cardinal fan. No question about that. Clayton has it knocked out of his hands, and it's going to belong to the Cardinals. And Clayton's going to put it back in play. Final minute and a half of the third quarter, and the Cardinals will have it. And they would dearly love to run the rest of this out, or at least score another goal if nothing else. Or if you can run the clock out and go into the fourth quarter with a 4-goal lead, you're feeling pretty good. They led by 6 at the intermission. But 5 unanswered Bates goals all of a sudden made this a game. Here's Turpin on the far side. Throws it to Martello. Martello now along the far sideline, just trots into the corner and behind the cage. Tries to reverse field. Lost the ball in the stick, but picks them both back up. Cardinals being deliberate here. Martello still with it. Shot clock is off, so we're under 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Martello still with it, nearly has it checked out of his stick. Still has it, spins back around, gives to Hawthorne. Out front, Barker. Barker, shot and a save made by Strain. It goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Bobcats. Well, the Cardinals kill a lot of time. Long downfield pass, and it's going to go out of bounds. And the Cardinals will get it back as the horn blows to end the third quarter. Well, 5 unanswered goals. Got Bates back within 2, but the Cardinals respond with 2 of their own at the end of the quarter. So it's 11-7 Wesleyan. We're back with the fourth quarter in just a bit. You're watching NSN. Welcome back to Jackson Field. Gene Gums with you. It has been an entertaining game. The Cardinals, with an incredible first half of defense, shut out this high-scoring Bates team 6-0. But the Bobcats woke up in the third and made it a game, but a couple of late goals by Wesleyan gives them a 4-goal cushion going into the final 15 minutes. It's going to be Gibson on the faceoff to start the fourth against Eli Cooper, the sophomore from nearby Glastonbury, Connecticut, for Bates. RIT leading Cortland 7-4 at the half of that game. The winner of this game plays the winner of that game, and if it's RIT, it'll be in Rochester. If it's Cortland, the game would be here. Cardinals win it on a violation on the faceoff, so a big faceoff win to start the quarter, chance to run some clock and widen that gap. Christian Barker will take it and wait for the rest of his offense to get on as Turpin steps in. Taylor Gesquire out there. Tom Martello, a big goal late in the third quarter to give the Cardinals that 4-goal cushion. Here's Turpin, cuts to the middle. Harry Stanton with 4 goals for the Cardinals this afternoon. Barker's got a goal and 3 assists. Here's Hawthorne. Couldn't turn. Gives to DuPont behind the net. Tom DuPont, one of the few seniors on this Cardinal offense. Barker out to Turpin, and he throws it away. I think he wanted to throw that to Gesquire, but that wasn't even close. So on the turnover, the Bobcats get it back. And then running out of bounds was Brown Jones, so the Cardinals will get it as he ran out of bounds. So here's DuPont. He throws it to Harry Stanton behind the goal. Up top, it goes to Ryan Flippin. 15 turnovers for the Cardinals in this game. Only 10 for the Bobcats. That was their 10th. Here's Stanton. Now Hawthorne throws it to Flippin behind the net. Again, Cardinals being deliberate. The more time that goes off that clock, the better. Flippin spins back towards the middle. Throws it outside. Here's Gesquire. And he scores. Taylor Gesquire's got his second of the game, and when he got by the defender and he gets that 6'5", 230 pounds rolling, there was nobody stopping him. And he just shot that one in the corner, tucked it in past the goalie's stick, but he beats his man cleanly right here, and it's all over once that happens. And from point-blank range, he gives the Cardinals the 5-goal lead. .13:11 to play. Gesquire picks up his 45th goal of the season, and the Cardinals lead 12-7. And the faceoff won by the Bobcats. Carried in, then checked out of the stick, and Ted Bergman picks up the ground ball. Charlie Gravina carried it in, but then had it checked out of his stick. And now the Cardinals come the other way with it. Here's Morales. Gives it to Shively. Now DuPont couldn't get in, so he'll back it out. Now the Cardinals will set up the offense. Stanton with it. Corey Ekstrom coming on now. Ryan Flippin also checking into the offensive end for Wesleyan. Ekstrom out to Flippin. Now he gets it back. Here's Kotzen at the top of the box. Now Kotzen spins back towards the middle, looking for someone there. Gets it to Hawthorne up top. Now to Stanton on the near side. Ekstrom. Back to Stanton. Nothing there for Harry. And I think that was meant to be on goal. He flipped it towards the net. It went well wide, but Ekstrom in position so the Cardinals keep possession. That was a blind shot. Wasn't even looking when he let it go. Here's Kotzen. And it hits the side of the net. The bench got excited. They thought that he had scored, but Rob Strain just picks it up from the ground after it hits the side of the net. Bobcats need goals. They're down 5 and the clock moving. We have 11 and a half minutes to play. Cardinals in control. Here's Melvin. Now Weber up top. Gives it to Melvin. This is Weber, takes the shot. It goes wide. The Bobcats will still have it. Andrew Melvin to the far side. Now back up top to Walsh. Now Weber to Fay. Fay's got a hat trick. He'll let it fly. And he throws it actually right to his teammate Melvin, even with the goal. Now Walsh all the way up top. Weber backs it out, gives it to Fay, takes the shot. That rises high and goes out. But Lastava in position. So the Bobcats still with possession. Out front, and they score. And then a late flag flies. I think that was Lastava that got lost out in front of the net and ends up scoring the goal. Lastava stands just 5'6". See it here as Lastava, the little guy right out front, takes the pass. It's a good catch in traffic and then scores on the pass from Melvin. So they needed that to make it a 4-goal game. And then the penalty was called. So not only do they score, Glajan took a slashing penalty, and so the Bobcats will get the ball back. So 10 minutes to play, and now they're man up, down 4. Big spot here. That shot is saved by Bergman. Bergman does a good job diving to his left there to get a piece of that one. That was a penalty they did not need. Weber throws it back up to Fay. There's Fay again, lets it rip. That goes wide. So the Bobcats will still have the possession, man up. Lastava right out front tried to get it in, and the pass was knocked away, and it's picked up by the Cardinals, by Malarchuk, and a good outlet pass. Gray Bradshaw Mack carries it in. Martello. And the save is made by Strain. It's almost like he took that right out of Martello's stick. I don't know how he made that save. That was a heck of a save right there. Now the ball loose on the far side. Morales going after it, but the Bobcats keep possession. And then a good check there by Hunter Reynolds. And the Cardinals come away with it. Martello has it. So the Cardinals have just about killed off the penalty. as Clayton is ready to come back on. Big save there. Martello has it, gives to Stanton. And the penalty has expired. So the Cardinals dodge a bullet there. Here's Ryan Flippin now. Flippin carries it to the far side, tries to throw it to Stanton and throws it away. And it goes all the way out of the sideline. It'll give it back to Bates. 8:40 to play. Bobcats with the ball. And a shot goes high and wide. And it was Burke Smith that let that one rip. Smith, also a Connecticut native. He's from Wilton. So Bates still with it as we approach 8 minutes to play. Fay tosses it up to Walsh. Now he gives it back to Fay. Here's Weber. He lets it rip and he scores. Well, the Bobcats are trying to make it interesting. It's back to 3. And this time Fay was involved, but he didn't score the goal. He just gave it to Weber, and he took one step and fired it, and he beat Bergman cleanly. I don't know if he was screened off or not, but Weber scores the goal. So Fay picks up the assist, and for Weber, his 56th goal of the year. That one loose. The Cardinals come away with it. Gray Bradshaw Mack will fire it up to midfield to Clayton. Now he'll give it to Turpin. So we've got a 3-goal game with 7.5 minutes to play. Bates has gotten it as close as 2. Cardinals have led by as much as 7. Wesleyan back on offense. Obviously, you want to kill clock, but you still have to play within your system. Because sometimes when you play not to lose, you lose. Seen that many times in basketball where you try to play keep away and it doesn't always work. Cardinals will still look to score if they get the opportunity here. Now you can see they're a little more earnest as they pick up the pace of the ball movement, flipping out front. Now Gesquire takes the shot. That goes high. And the Cardinals didn't have position. It'll go back to Bates as Fred Ulbrich was in place to make sure the Bobcats get it back. So Bates down 3 with the ball. 6 minutes to play. Bates needs 3 to tie. Here comes Brown Jones. Not caught cleanly by Melvin. The Cardinals battling for it back there. Still loose. And sent towards the sideline where it's finally picked up for Bates by Frank Spitz. Then he has it checked out of his stick. It's still loose, now picked up by Melvin. Wow. And then a late flag flies. It's going to be against the Cardinals. On the touch-up, Bergman makes the save. We're going to have an offside penalty, I think, against the Cardinals. So the Bobcats are going to have a chance here with a man advantage for 30 seconds with 5:34 to play. This one is far from over, folks. DuPont takes the penalty. So the Cardinals need to kill this off. Bobcats have scored twice man up in this. Weber to the far side. And, oh, a good save by Bergman there as he had Melvin right on the near corner. And Bergman got over to make the stop. That was a big one. Takes it again. Fay scores. Boy, it almost looked like Bergman had that lined up. But the speed beat him. And Fay has just picked up his 4th of the game. And now it's 2. The Bobcats as close as they've been. And watch Fay as he catches this pass. He lets it rip, and you see Bergman puts the stick up. I thought for a second that he had saved it. But I think the shot was just too fast, and he beat him. And it's 12-10. The second time the Bobcats have been within 2. 5:06 to play, and that's another man-up goal for the Bobcats. And I stand corrected, they're 2 of 6 now on man-up. Cardinals 2 of 4 man-up. So the Cardinals will have this one. Shots 42-41 in favor of the Cardinals, but on goal 21-18 in favor of Bates. Bates has not been within a goal since it was 1-0. Since the Cardinals took the 6-0 lead, the closest Bates has gotten has been 2, and that's been twice. Here's Turpin. Stanton gives it back to Turpin behind the net. Cardinals would love an insurance goal here. Here's Hawthorne. To Gesquire. Hawthorne doesn't catch it cleanly, but picks up the loose ball. Does a good job of protecting himself there. Here's Stanton around the corner. Shot wide. It'll still belong to the Cardinals. These two teams played a 1-goal game. Bates won it first game of the season, 15-14. Cardinals lead this 12-10, 4:05 to play. Cardinals trying to hang on. Turpin with it. Up top to Stanton, lets it rip and goes wide. Carter Hawthorne to put it back in play. Cardinals are going to run clock, and they can do that after they took the shot. They can kill some clock here before the referees will wind the shot clock, so they'll take as much of that as they can. Here's Hawthorne. Beats his man, but couldn't get around the corner. Gives it to DuPont. Up top to Gesquire. Now Barker. Stanton loses his footing, gets back up. Shot clock running, and the cross-field pass was tipped. It goes out. It'll still belong to the Cardinals, but only 11 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get a shot off. Turpin puts it in play out to Barker. 6 on the shot clock. 3 on the clock. Gesquire lets it rip, and he scores! As the shot clock wound to 0, Taylor Gesquire with perhaps the biggest goal of the game to put the Cardinals back up 3-0. And it almost looked like they weren't going to have time, but they get it to Gesquire up top, and as it hits 0, he lets it go, and the Cardinals get some insurance. Barker picks up his 4th of the assist of the game, easy for me to say, and the Cardinals lead by 3 with 2:54 to play. As they continue to battle for the face-off, and it's tipped forward, and the Bobcats will pick it up as Melvin comes away with it. Cardinals need to make them work for this. As we are under 3 minutes, Bates needs 3. Fay, who's got 4 this afternoon. And Peter Lasagna is yelling for timeout from the Bates bench, and he is going to get it, as he knows what a critical time this is for his team if they are going to get themselves back into this. 2:38 to play. It's 13-10 Wesleyan. We're back in a minute. You're watching NSN. Welcome back to Jackson Field. Gene Gums and the NSN crew here with you. Cardinals leading this one by 3. Bates has the possession out of the timeout. Out of town score, RIT leading Cortland 9-4 with 4:15 to go in the third quarter. So it's looking more and more like the winner of this game will be going to Cortland. To Rochester. We've got 2:24 to go. Bates needs 3 to tie. They don't have a lot of time to waste here as Weber almost throws it away. It was deflected. I think it was Morales, but then Weber gets it right back to Fay. He has to let it rip, and he scores. He beats Bergman on the short side. That was not an easy shot, as it looked like Bergman had it cut off, and he still snuck it past the stick. And Fay showing why he was the player of the year in the conference, as he takes this one short side. Bergman gets the stick down, but it was too late. Weber gets the assist. 2:06 to play. And it's 13-11, and this may be the biggest face-off of the game right here. And I'm not sure what we've got going on here. The referees are having a conversation at midfield, and they're sending Zavalek off. They're checking his stick, I guess. So they're doing a stick check. I'm not sure if something happened and he broke a string, or why all of a sudden there's concern about the stick. Crowd getting a little restless on the far side, as you can see the big crowd in the background here at Jackson Field. Zavalek standing on the sideline as they continue to look at his stick, and he's going to be flagged for an illegal stick. And holy cow, that is going to put the Bobcats in a golden position here, down 2 and man up. And you can feel the electricity on the Bates bench as they are pumped up. So that 2-minute penalty for an illegal stick. So that essentially means that Bates is man up the rest of the way, unless they score here. 2 minutes to go. The Bobcats down 2 with the ball and man up. They've scored twice man up this afternoon. Weber to Fay. He lets it rip and he scores again. Charlie Fay is having a day. Fay just scored his 6th goal of the game. And that will put the Cardinals up just 1. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, because it was an illegal stick, the Cardinals are still a man down. Zavalek is still in the penalty box. I think that is a non-releasable penalty. Now the referees are talking. Are they checking the stick for the Bates face-off man too? Well, there's no flag flying here, so that must mean that one's okay. So now on the face-off, Gibson will have to come out. Was the Cardinals' Zach Zavalek in the penalty box, so it'll be Gibson going against Sam Francis. Bates as close as they have been all game. It's 13-12. We have 1:47 to play. The Bobcats trying to knot this up and send it to overtime, or perhaps maybe come up with a late win. What a turn of events. That illegal stick penalty could loom very large. And the face-off loose and knocked up in the air, heads towards the end line, goes out. They said it'll belong to the Bobcats. Everything going Bates' way right now. Here's Fay. Takes the shot, scores. We're tied just like that. What a turnaround we have seen in this game. And Fay, he caught it. And again, he had plenty of shooting space. Nobody got there, and he beats Bergman. And Fay has been a one-man wrecking crew here in the second half. Don't forget that Bates didn't score for the first 30 minutes of this game, and they have scored 13 times in the second half. 7 of those by Charlie Fay, and with 1:29 to play, we're tied at 13. And a hold call on the faceoff. It's going to belong to the Cardinals. Then a flag flies. And I don't know what this flag's all about, but I wonder if it's after the after the hold was called, maybe something was said by Sam Francis, but a flag went up. So we'll sort this one out. So the 30-second penalty on Lastava for illegal procedure. So the Cardinals will have it. Looking to go back ahead. We're tied for the first time since it was 0-0. Cardinals on offense with 1:15 to play. We've already seen them win one late this year as Harry Stanton won a game against Tufts in the final 9 seconds. Cardinals have won 19 in a row, trying to make it 20 and get to the NCAA semifinals. And they may want to hold this and go as far as they can and as close to the last shot of the game as they can and take it to overtime if they don't win it. Stanton goes around the corner, takes the shot, scores! Harry Stanton does it again. He is unbelievable. Mr. Clutch, Harry Stanton. He's left some time on the clock for Bates, but Harry Stanton comes up with a big one here as he takes it out behind, put the brakes on. His defender fell down, goes to the middle, takes it sidearm, and takes it to the far post and scores with 38 seconds to play. .38 seconds to go. Stanton, his 5th of the game. And the Cardinals now 38 seconds away from the NCAA semis. If they can stop the Bobcats here, they got to win the face-off first. Gibson battling for it, didn't get to it. It's still loose. They shovel it forward. The Cardinals have it. Popped up in the air, still loose. Now Klajan gets to it, fires it down the field. Bounces up to midfield, and now the Bobcats have it. Here's Jones. And a timeout is going to be called by Peter Lasagna as they're going to try to set up this last play. What a game this has been. The Cardinals led by as much as 7. Bates came all the way back to tie this thing up at 13, and then Harry Stanton, as he has done so many times this season, scores the go-ahead goal with 38 seconds to play. We've got 14 seconds left. Bates is going to have possession in the offensive zone out of this timeout. And I am sure one thing that John Raba is saying right now to his defenders is you need to be on Charlie Fay like you are his second shirt, because Charlie Fay has scored 7 times here in the second half. Charlie Fay now with 79 goals on the season. Harry Stanton with his 5 today has 81 goals on the season. So the 2 premier goal scorers in the conference have been as advertised. So here we go with 14 seconds to play. The Bobcats will have it in the offensive end. Lastava puts it in play. Here's Weber, top of the box to Fay. Far side. Now, don't catch it cleanly. It's loose. The Cardinals come away with it. Whistle blows, and then it's going to be a push. That'll give it back to Bates with just a few seconds left. Up top to Weber. Fires. Save made by Bergman. Ted Bergman with the save of the game in the last couple of seconds, and the Cardinals are going to win this thing 14-13. What a game, and Ted Bergman gets it done. Bergman, who was so good in the first quarter with 7 saves in the first, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open late. But Ted Bergman makes the save in the final 2 seconds of the game, and the Cardinals win this thing 14-13. Ted Bergman finishes the game with 13 saves, and nothing bigger than that one with a couple of seconds left to give the Cardinals the victory. Their 20th straight win of the season. They are now 20-1. Bates will finish their season at 16-2, and they have nothing to hang their heads over after being down 6-0 at the half to come all the way back and tie this thing up at 13. And then Harry Stanton with the play of the game to win it with 38 seconds to go on the goal, and then Ted Bergman with the huge save to save it. In the other game we've been watching, RIT is leading SUNY Cortland 10-6 with 14 minutes to go in that one. So unless Cortland can pull off an upset against the top-seeded RIT program, the Cardinals will probably be going to Rochester on Sunday afternoon for the semifinals. Well, it was a huge crowd here this afternoon. It was beautiful weather. And if you're a Cardinal lacrosse fan, it was a beautiful day. The final score in this one, Wesleyan 14, Bates 13. For my crew at NSN, I'm Gene Gums. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching men's lacrosse on NSN. Good night, everybody.